Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today. I feel like we've traversed the universe. Oh, hi, y'all, says Heidi from Vienna. I love it when people from Europe say y'all in their writing. It makes me laugh. And Deja Lee says, I'm here looking forward to hearing what you have to say about this topic. I'm so excited about this topic. And it just makes me think of how far we've come and all of the vibrational and emotional universes we have traversed over the last 4 years. So I was thinking this morning about a restaurant in Tampa that I used to love to go to that's no longer open. I was like, wait a minute, what made me think of that? Because I was drinking jasmine tea and I got addicted to their jasmine tea. And those of you who know me know that when I get addicted to something, it's really like I really like go there. And and I remembered and I felt sad because Kimberly recently told me that they closed in the last few years. But they used to make these fresh, I think they called them summer rolls. I know that some restaurants call them fresh spring rolls. And so they have like instead of frying it, they have like rice. It's a rice wrap that's raw, or it's cold and soft anyway. It's cold and soft. And it has lettuce, basil, shrimp, and some other very light vegetables, and a really, really, really good sauce to dip it into. And it was to where when I would order it somewhere else, I became really picky about not just about the actual roll itself, but about the sauce that it came with, because I knew what it was supposed to taste like. I knew that the people who owned Trangs were really Vietnamese, and they were making like a homemade recipe. So I had a sense of what the authenticity tasted like. And then that got me like on this whole conversation about having good taste comes from usually someone showing you what good taste is. There are exceptions to that. So I wanted to talk about all that. So the summer rolls were one example. Another example is I was just out near the brow. The brow is the mountain view. It's like the valley view. They call it like an eyebrow, like the brow. And I was just meeting a friend there, and she is an artist, and she also is somebody who notices nature. Like she goes, do you hear all the animals? They're all getting ready for winter. And there was like a light scurrying of animals that you could hear doing their little thing. And I looked at her and I said, I've never heard nature that way before. I mean, I love nature and I've listened to sounds in nature, but I never heard those sounds that way before. And she was upgrading my perception and my taste as I was listening to her describe her experience. And then she touched the tree that was nearby. First, she looked at it, and some trees have moss that grows on them, and it's really pretty. And we both became like really enamored by the moss on the tree. And then she started smelling it, and she said, sometimes when my cat comes inside, she smells like earth, like this. And it was another how do I say this? I already had some of those perceptual experiences, but they got heightened through seeing the world through her eyes. And like Julie says, little things are big things. Another example of art is Hajib is back home, and Lydia Randolph's art. She goes out to the brow every day and takes photos of the sunsets. And I have a bunch of photos of the sunsets that I've taken, but not that many. And her art of the trees and the sunsets are magical. Well, that led me to thinking about something. Should I give you another example? I'll give you another a music example before I tell you about my thoughts about who we are at Joy-Based Living and where we're going. So music, really great musicians can give us good taste. So I was thinking about sometimes I think of myself or Joy-Based Living as a superhero. And every great superhero story has a really great enemy. Like every great, so Star Wars has Darth Vader, that kind of a thing. And when I was 10 years old, my favorite song became, because I heard it playing on someone's radio on a public bus in Israel, was Pink Floyd's song, Another Brick in the Wall. Well, that's a pretty intense song for a 10-year-old. I didn't come to love Pink Floyd after that or anything like that. That took many years later. I would get to know their work, and I like their work, but that song became like my my theme song for a while. And if you think about joy-based living, what we're fighting with quite a bit of might, with quite a bit of strength, we're fighting dehumanization. And what is dehumanization? Dehumanization says people are mechanical, people are machine-like. Let's have people talking to machines as though they are machines, people becoming like machines. And so another brick in the wall represents that. And so they taught me good music and good deep messages in music when I was 10. And Styx has a song called Mr. Roboto that has a similar message to it. I should actually look up the words. I've loved that song for many years. And another song along those same lines is by George Harrison, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Why is he weeping? He's weeping for all the cultural conditioning that has taught people that, yes, in fact, I am a machine, and so I will spend my life checking boxes and being good and behaving and doing what I'm supposed to do. Ooh, that makes me want to cry. Well, so then I thought, okay, how do we solve it? Through song. How have I been solving it? Through song. And then we'll talk about all of us at Joy-Based Living, which I'm so excited about. So George Harrison came up first in my mind. Here Comes the Sun. Do, 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 do. Here Comes the Sun. Also, my favorite record album when I was 6 years old. I was in first grade because it was my first grade teacher that had it on the record player. And I remember seeing the cover of it, like leaning on the blackboard, was Free to Be You and Me by Marlo Thomas. There's a land that I see where the children are free. And I say it ain't far to this land from where we are. Take my hand, come along, lend your voice to my song. Come along, take my hand, sing along. Oh my gosh, still fills my heart to this day. And it's a children's album that has a lot of famous people on it, and it's really funny and very creative. And then the other song that came to my mind in terms of how I and we at Joy-Based Living solve the problem is Carly Simon's version of the song, The Itsy Bitsy Spider. What does the spider do? Fall down, get back up, fall down, get back up, fall down, get back up. And so my friend whose name I'm not mentioning on purpose, because I feel like it could be any one of us, and it could be any one of our friends that I could have had this conversation with. And it gave me an awareness of who we are. And that is, she showed me a piece of art that she's working on right now, and a few pieces of her art. And then she said, I was asking her a question about a part of the art, and she said, well, it's like I have this magical awareness. And I was like, oh my God, stop the horses. And I took out an index card and I wrote the word magical awareness. And I've been listening to a book by Seth Godin lately called The Practice. And it's about shipping your work, putting your work out there, putting your soul out there for the world to see. Because quite frankly, I've been saying this a long time, the world needs us. But why? Why does the world need us? Many of us are artists or helping artists. I seem to love pulling out or naming or noticing or spotlighting the magic in the artists who surround me and making it grow bigger, like cultivating it and celebrating it. Like I love doing that. And then I thought about the art exhibit that we just had in Tampa, our very first art gallery. And I've been wondering to myself since then about what do we all have in common? What's our theme? Because not all of us are professional artists. I mean, Amy Gregory is a school teacher and she made hers out of like butcher block paper with help from Michelle and, colored paper. And we wrote appreciation notes on her appreciation tree. And then, so I realized that if we had to have a genre, which I think is important, and this is where Seth Godin was talking about, if you don't have a genre, you're going to be generic. And if you're generic, you're going to be invisible. And I associate the word invisible with the word trauma, traumatized, CPTSD, and all that kind of a thing. And that's what I mean, that we've traversed many universes in these last few years. We've covered the genre of like personal development with like talking about shame, talking about honor. We talked about mind body. We've talked about trauma awareness. We've talked about spirituality. We could fit in so many of those genres, but none of those really felt like a comfortable, like I love my leather jacket. Okay. I found this leather jacket in Chicago. Love my leather jacket. And I kind of feel like dun, 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 what's his name? Dun, 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 Indiana Jones. Because I can use this as a pillow. I'm never afraid of it getting dirty or smudged, and it always keeps me warm in any time of the year. And because it's not too heavy. And so where was I going with leather jacket and genre? Yes, none of those genres felt like this leather jacket to me. They always felt like temporary, like especially when we were going through all the trauma healing, CPTSD, intense conversation. Like I knew that that's not who I wanted to be. So while I was promoting who we are, joy-based living, I had my one foot on the gas, but one foot on the brake, because I didn't want to be the CPTSD lady. I didn't want to be like some people who are on YouTube are doing a phenomenal job teaching, spending their life teaching about narcissistic abuse. And they are incredible. But I don't want to be one of them. I have a master's degree in counseling, but that's not my shtick. I won't wear that. I would rather wear a different kind of cape. And I think that cape, I think that our genre, and I wonder what you think about this. I wonder if I'm on the right track. I wonder if our genre as a group of joy-based living is magical awareness. I think that we're aware of the magic of this universe. We're aware of magic within each other. We're becoming more and more aware of magic within ourselves the more we honor ourselves and love ourselves. And it's just feeling good to say it, and thinking about who taught each of us how to have good taste. Well, that also includes good taste in the people that you hang out with. And it also has to do with good taste in the thoughts that you choose to entertain and spotlight. And it also has to do with money. Having good taste in receiving money that feels like joy, giving money in ways that feel like joy, because it's our choice about the energy that we choose to inhabit when we're exchanging money. So I hope that like this made sense to you. So I really would love your feedback at Patreon so that we can all see it there. So who taught you how to have good taste, and in what areas of your life? I'll give you one more story and then we'll close it. I remember teaching my brother to love Godiva chocolate because he was making fun of me for having spent $3 on one truffle. And I said, well, let's have a taste test. So we went ahead and bought another $3 truffle, and we bought a $1.75 truffle. This was Fannie Mae, I think was the name of it, versus Godiva in the mall. This was like 20 years ago. I don't know. It was so funny. He was a little kid, and I was his older. I'm 13 years older than him, and he took a little tiny bite of each. And he never bothered me or made fun of me again for how I should spend my money on such things, because he tasted the difference. And I think in our world, we have too much of a saving money is better than having good taste. But I think that if more of us had and expressed and shared good taste, we would generate the money to have more good taste. And I think that it's time for us who've been misfits in the world, kind of like the way the nerds were made fun of, and then they were like, woo. Julie was giving me statements the other day like consciousness is cool and truth is awesome and cool. And I think we are the new wave. And let's put the spotlight on that. So yeah, who taught you to have good taste and in what areas? And what do you think about the idea of us having a genre that we call magical awareness? Thank you so much for being with me here today, and I will see you on the next video tomorrow at 2 p.m. Bye for now.